Good evening. This is my dinner for tonight. You saw the rest of my day on my last vlog, and so it is still Monday night, and I am having half of a whole wheat pita here for 2 points, and then I have tuna in here. Believe it or not, I am having tuna with for 0 points with 2 points of mayonnaise in here, olive oil mayonnaise, and lettuce and tomato, and a pickle. And then I've got my creamy cauliflower soup for 2 points, and I've got a little bit of truffle zest on it. I actually whirled it in the Vitamix to make it easier to eat, and that's my dinner for tonight. So 4 points? 6 points tonight. All right, this is what I'm having after dinner. I just wanted a little something sweet. I think I'm still coming down from the donut. And so I'm going to be having 3 of these thin stackers here. 3 is 2 points, 4 is 3 points. So I'm having 3, and I'm having 2 tablespoons of PB Fit for 2 points. That's what it's coming up as. And I mixed it with water and a little bit of sugar-free syrup just to sweeten it up a bit. And then I've got a kiwi fruit, and I'm going to be having some of my favorite tea in the whole world, which is this decaf Constant Comment. It's a black tea, but it has like hints of orange in it, and it's just really, really good. And it's actually really great with a little stevia and a little splash of like vanilla almond milk, and it really feels decadent. All right, so my after dinner snack is, which will be 4 points. Good morning. It is, what's today? Tuesday morning. And my husband swung by home and he's asked me to make him a smoothie. So what am I going to do? I'm going to try to make him a good one. I'll show you which one I'm going to make. This one I'm taking out of this new book that I have, the Eat to Live Quick and Easy Cookbook. And this is from page 43. It is Go-To Green Smoothie. And I'm going to show you a shot here in case you want to try it. Okay, and basically, let me show you what's in it. It says 3 cups of kale, and I think I may have more than that. If you're just starting out with smoothies, always try to, use spinach first so you don't get scared off by the green flavor. But this should be sweetened up enough that it'll be okay. I love kale. My hubby loves kale, so we don't mind it. I've got a cup of frozen blueberries. You can use fresh or frozen. You can use strawberries, cherries. Then it says a 1/4 cup of pomegranate juice or carrot juice, but I don't have either, so I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of apple juice from concentrate. I hope that comes out okay. A 1/2 cup of soy, hemp, or almond milk. I've got the unsweetened almond milk, 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds or chia seeds. I'm using the flax seeds, and then 1/2 a banana. And I have a whole banana. I think I'm going to put a whole one in there for him. I'll probably do a 1/2 for me when I make mine. And I know my bananas look gnarly all the time, but they're really good. This is the best when they're frozen. I cut it open and it's white. It just looks like that when it's frozen, but it's really great in here. If you get, you buy the cheap bananas that are like a little bit more further along, peel them, throw them in the freezer, and take them out for these smoothies, and they're absolutely perfect. Okay, added a few stevia drops to this one, and this is good to go. It's actually pretty good. Okay, so the kids and I are on the bike, and we're on the move again. So I think I'm counting on that smoothie to power me up for a while this morning, and then I also brought a nice big envy apple. I need a snack before we head back home. Okay, so I just went up a super big hill with the 3 boys in tow, and somebody was grilling hot dogs. All right, so I'm going to take a little breather here before I have to pedal all the way home. I'm letting the kids play. You know, I was thinking while I was pedaling down here of how hard it was to get him down here a bit, but how, you know, just because it's not like, if you're not training conventionally, you know, like in a gym or with a specific group or something like that, it doesn't mean that you still can't still train. It doesn't mean that you can't still really develop something and train hard, you know. So maybe this might be the only biking training that I can do, you know, apart from a Saturday morning or something once in a while. But I'm going to make the best of it, and I'm going to grow through that. So sometimes, you know, people's training consists of just moving one, you know, I've read of people doing this. They had a pile of bricks in the yard, and what they would do, they would just make it a point to move that pile 5 feet from that other pile every other day, and then move it back again. And that's what they would do, is just move it back and forth and back and forth. That's training, you know, pretty good. And then when they're ready, they move on to something else, or if the opportunity comes up, you know. And one thing that I've noticed is that, you know, my dad has been training without even realizing it. You know, for years and years and years, he's had, you know, like ornamental horticulture and landscape, and he does everything, you know, with his company, but it's all manual labor. And he's been out there moving heavy things and planting things, and just, he's so good. He can make anything grow. But he is now, I think, like 83 or 84, and he's had, you know, open heart surgery, and he's had, you know, a whole lot of other issues, but throughout it all, he's been working, and he still works. To this day, he's still working, and he still does physical. Up until the time, a couple years ago, when he had open heart surgery, he was still lifting weights and things like that. So, and he's back at it now. He's finally healed up enough where he feels he can go back to work. And, you know, does he have to? No, but he wants to. And I think he wants to keep his mind fresh, you know, too. And my mom stays, you know, active as well in her own way. So what I was going to tell you was, when I was younger, I was in high school, and I was training hard without even knowing that I was training. So I wish I would have known. I would have actually pulled back a little bit. But I wanted to work with my dad. I wanted to make some money and make a few bucks, and I needed stuff to do. I was off for the summertime, and I said, Dad, I want to go to work with you. And he's like, yeah, sure, come along. So he took me to work with him, and one of the jobs that he had was, there was a park. And now that I look back on it, it was a relatively small park, but it had a humongous grassy field, right? And he didn't have a ride-on mower. I mean, they were just, you know, he just didn't have one at that time. He did have an electric mower that went by itself, but it was in the shop. So we had two others that you had to push at the time. And it was a lot smaller, you know, on the stuff that now he's got, like all kinds of stuff, you know. But back then, you know, you had to do some real manual labor, and he still does, don't get me wrong, but he's got all kinds of gadgets and stuff like that to help now, and people to help and things like that. But so I said, oh, I can do this. I can mow the field, you know, not thinking that it was, you know, going to be a super hard job. And he's like, okay, you know, that's fine. So, I mean, I had a big spirit. So I got going out there, and he had to do it every so often during the summertime. I mean, the grass grows, you know, fast. And so, so I started mowing, and what I didn't realize in pushing and pushing and pushing was, yes, not only was I developing my arm muscles, but more than that, my calves got like comic book humongous. I mean, I was like superhero calves, and here I was, you know, a junior in high school, and I just was, you know, all of a sudden, one day I didn't realize it until somebody pointed it out to me, and they were like, what in the world, where did you get those calves? And I'm like, oh yeah, it was that summer of pushing the mower, because I noticed a little difference, but I didn't know that they had developed quite so much. And So ever since then, you know, kind of, it's one of those places that is well developed on me, and I like it, and I'm proud of the work that I did. At the same time, being a woman, I've always also wanted slim calves and small ankles, and I have very strong legs, and so I don't have those thin ones that I've always wanted, and I can't seem to get rid of them now. But that's where they came from, and so I like trained, and I probably overtrained, you know, when I was really young, and that's where they came from, you know, mowing the grass. And so it's that kind of training. If you ever seen The Karate Kid, my husband and I call it wax on, wax off training, where, you know, Mr. Miyagi had trained, you know, the Karate Kid without him realizing that he was training him. And so, but you can use wax on, wax off training, you know, purposefully, and not go to the gym, but do something else at home or something, and just, you know, and train, you know, and do things that, do that wax on, wax off training. You still get the benefit. You still can, you know, come out on top. Just be careful that you don't do what I did and pull back when you need to. Balance things out a little bit. All right, I'll see you in a bit.
Just brought everybody some apples and put them in my little handy dandy fruit holder. Look at this apple. I don't know what is going on with it, but it's like all brown inside and stuff, and it's like, it's still hard. I don't think it's a bruise, but it just freaks me out. I don't think I'm going to eat that part.
Okay, I'm having a little thinly made G-bomb soup again for lunch. I don't know if I'll have anything else right now because we're going to be going to the gym to work out soon, and I just don't want it sitting in my stomach. Okay, so I was on my bike today for almost 2 hours, right? I get home and my Fitbit's working, but for some reason it's not. Maybe I just had it on I should have put on my leg or something. But it registered as me moving for 12 minutes. So it didn't really register the bike ride. I'm so upset. It didn't die or anything, but I think because I was holding on to the handlebars, you know, for some reason it just didn't register the movement. All right, for dinner I had a salad with fresh pinto beans that I made and my salsa. 2 tablespoons of this for 2 points. Amazing. And an extreme wellness wrap, and I also made an over easy egg, and that's what I had for dinner.